Welcome back to this data science session. So we are going to discuss pandas, okay, in Python. Pandas, okay. So what is pandas? Okay. So what functions do we have? So what really is pandas doing, that we can discuss, okay. So what is pandas? Pandas are used to read data files, okay. Pandas. So without pandas, you can't read data files. Manually, you need to create everything. So pandas used to read data files or do data manipulation. Data manipulation. Okay. So all the pre-processing steps can be happen with the help of pandas. Okay. Filling null values, removing unwanted values. Okay. Removing null values, filling null values. All pre-processing steps can be happen in pandas. Okay. Pandas is used for data manipulation. Okay. So and it is used to read data files. So it can read Excel files and CSV files. Okay. Okay. And some more files also. Okay. Okay. So first, some of the basic functionalities, if you note it, first to load a data set, pd dot read underscore CSV. So we use this function to read a data set. Okay. First we need to install. Similarly to NumPy, pip install pandas. So then import pandas as pd. Import pandas as pd. Then start applying these functions. Okay. First read the pandas, then apply the. So put it in one variable, then data dot head. So reads first 5 elements. Data dot tail will read last 5 elements. Okay. So data dot info will give entire information. So how many rows, how many columns are there, so how many null values are there, all the information is data information. Okay. Can be obtained in the data.info. So next, data.sample. Data.sample is used to see random sample from the data set. Okay. Next, data.columns. Data.columns is used to read how many columns are there. So you can see all the column names. Okay. So next, data.count. So data.count is, so this is show all columns. Data.count is used to count all the values of all the columns. So first column is having how many values. Okay. Second column is having how many values. Third column is having how many values. Okay. In that way you can find it. So apart from this, we have ilog function also. So ilog function is used to read data in the segment part. Okay. Read data in segments. Okay. So all this we can see it. Okay. So now let us go into practical part. Okay. So first we will take data set, then we will try to, and then start. So while running pandas, how many ways you can import the data set? Means I can say 2 ways. In 2 ways you can import the data set. So the very first way I can suggest is using Google Drive. Okay. So so first step, I'm importing pandas as pd. Okay. It got installed. So now if my data set, if I stored it in Google Drive, my Google Drive, in that case what I will do, I can attach my Google Drive here. So just simply click this. Okay. So some lines of code got here. Okay. So some lines of code got written here. So this part is used to get your Google Drive. Okay, so in my Google Drive you see MNIST_test CSV California, so some files are there. Okay, so from that you can give. Okay, so from that you can take pull the data set that you required from your Google Drive. Okay, or the second way, so you can remove, you can delete this if your data set is present in downloads, suppose. So I will directly import. Okay, from downloads. If you see in downloads, employees. Okay, so I am importing one CSV file. So this is another way to import the data set into your drive, into your Colab notebook. Okay, so if I refresh it, for refreshing I need to click this. Yeah, I got it here. Okay, so now what I will do, I'll take a command pd.read_csv. So pd.read_csv is used to read the data set. So what I will do, I'll just copy the path. I'll copy the path and I'll paste it here. Okay, if I run it, see, all my employees.csv file gets read here. Okay, so there are two ways to import the data set into your code file. So one way is directly click this Google Drive. So from that Google Drive you'll get options like this. So you can copy the path and you can give it here, pd.read_csv. Okay, or else you can directly click this import and give that path here. Okay, yeah. Now, so after loading the data set, what I will try to do, I'll try to do pre-processing. That means I will check it first. So for that checking, what I will do, I'll check some random symbols first. Data.head, first 5 column, first 5 rows. Data.head, first 3 rows. So in bracket, if you give the value, we get that value. Okay, first head means first, tail means last. So first 10 means I'll get 10 values. Okay, by default if you don't use, we'll get 5 values. Okay, from the data set, data.head, first top 5 rows. Okay, 5 values from the data set. Okay, so similarly data.tail means first last 5 rows we'll get. Okay, so last 5 rows what I am having, 49. Okay, so if I mention last 10, I'll get last 10. Okay, so this data set is consisting of, I think last means 49 means starting is 0, right? So 50 samples. Okay, you can have any number of samples as you want. Okay, so as of now my data set is consisting of 50 samples. So with that 50 samples I'm trying to read that. Okay, so last 5, first 5, last 10 randomly. Okay, like that. So tail and head are used to read top and bottom values respectively. Okay, head is for top, tail is for last. Okay, so data.sample is used to generate random sample. Yeah, 37th value is reading. So like this we can read. Okay, so data.columns. Okay, so what is this data? See, I'm putting it in. So everything I'm this data set is I'm putting it in variable. Okay, so every time I'll call data.tail, data.head, because my data set is present in the data variable. Okay, so that's why I'm calling with the help of data variable. So data.head. Okay, so data.columns means, so in the data.variable how many columns are there? How many columns are there? You can see all the columns here. Okay, so data.shape, shape means how many rows, how many columns. There are 50 rows and there are 11 columns. Okay, so data.count means that gives the count of each and every column. Okay, so employee ID, so these all are the columns. How many columns? 11 columns, right? So 11 columns, so how many values we are having? 11 values, all are full. Okay, So if my any missing values are there, say suppose in this column first name there are 1 or 2 missing values, that means in my Excel file if there are no values, okay, so if there are 2 empty means I'll get 48 here, okay. Since my all Excel file is filled with all values, I'm getting all the 50 values. We need to make sure. So after confirming this only, we need to start pre-processing. Okay, first we need to check whether null values are there or not, whether we can do pre-processing or not. So what kind of pre-processing we need to do, where we need to do pre-processing, and all this comes when we check this operations. Okay, so data.count. Okay, data types. So each column data type you can check it here. Okay, so if it is float, you can get float. If it is string, you'll get object. Okay, in pandas, if it is a string type, no, we'll get it in object. Okay, so if possible, let me show that data set also. So this is in downloads, it is there, my data set is there. Okay, yeah, this is my data set. So here I am getting 11 columns. So that data types is used to show the data type of each column. Okay, so you can check it, all it is present in text. Okay, so you can see all the columns are present in text, but you see this is actually a number and this is in phone number, and you can see date formats, but all this it is considering it in getting considering in what object type. But here you see the values are different. Maybe my data set is wrong, or I have imported correct only, right? So import from downloads only, I am importing this. Okay, okay, so you'll get here. So this we need to copy path, this you need to give copy path, then you need to give it path here. Okay, so similarly you can create Excel file also. So for Excel file, XLSX extension, you will get it here. Okay, or else you can use CSV also, no issue. Okay, so by default it is taking how many values? 50 only. So did I give any restriction that I need to check it? Okay, okay, so data.head, data.tail over, so data.sample over, data.count over, so data.d types over. Okay, so first 50 samples only I am taking it into consideration. Why? Because I have written code like that only. Okay, okay, you can see it, maybe in my code I have considered like that. Okay, okay, yeah. So next, data.describe is used to describe about mean, median, standard deviation and all. So if you ask me, I can suggest few important functions. First we need to check data.head, data.tail to check last and first values, then data.info, data. Here the next value is what? Data.describe. Yeah, these 4 functions are important. Okay, data.describe, okay. So these 4 functions are necessary for applying machine learning concept. Okay, I have mentioned this, I have highlighted this point in my previous sessions also, you can refer them. Yeah, so this gives a clear picture. So apart from this, if in order to see remaining functions of pandas, we are just looking into it. Okay, yeah. So in pandas we'll try to create data frames. Okay, so what is data frame means? If anyone asks you what is a data frame is a arrangement of our data in a tabular format. See, this is arranged in entirely in tabular format, right? So by default it got arranged. Okay, see, convert this into data frame to an interactive table. Okay, I can convert it. Okay, so if it is in CSV format, then we can convert into data frames. Okay, CSV means comma separated value. We will have values like this only. Okay, horizontally rather in tabular format. So we are looking into subsets of data frame. Okay, so data dot salary. So next I will take another column, data dot city. So how many cities? Okay, so city is not there. So city is not there. Let me delete it. Okay, so first name, last name, mail ID, right? So if I am asking it to data dot, if I want to read 3 columns, so I want to read employee ID, employee ID, employee ID, and is name. If I want to read only this particular values from my entire columns, okay, so in that way also I can do it. So then salary, how much he is getting, so in this way you can select it. Okay, control V, then you can run it, so you can get those only. Okay, so in this way you can filter out. So data, so in that data you mention the column names, so only those columns will be represented. Okay, yeah, see, after finding this objects, no, object means string, right? So in info you are seeing all non-null values. So if you are having null values, what we need to do, we need to remove them. Okay, we need to remove them by 2 ways, either by deleting it, you can delete the null values if you are getting, otherwise you can fill null values with mean value, sum value, median value, or any kind of value. Okay, that is coming in data.describe. Okay, okay, since we are having all non-null values, it is absolutely fine. Okay, no need to remove null values. Okay, so our pre-processing is also getting reduced. So if you are getting null values, no, we need to check it. Okay, otherwise we'll get an outliers and our entire training process goes wrong and our testing process also goes wrong in case of machine learning. Okay, okay, so if only null values are there, you can apply this, either you can delete it or either you can fill those null values with these things. Okay, so my suggestion is use this. Why? Because if you're deleting the data, means that is very drawback for a data scientist. Indirectly you are losing lot of data and lot of information. So using that data you may extract other inputs or you can draw some other different conclusions. Okay, so never delete the data. In least cases you can delete, but my suggestion, don't go by deleting the data. So see, if you're deleting the data, training also becomes difficult and testing is also become difficult and we may lose data, we cannot draw proper conclusions. Okay, so instead of that you can go with this technique, fill with null values with mean, sum, median. Okay, yeah, absolutely fine. So next we are going to see some more functions, okay, on pandas. Okay, so this is how we read data.head. So I'm reading again data.head. So accessing rows. Okay, ilog function is used to access second column to 10th column. So we are having 11 columns, right? So if I want to access from 5th column to last column, C. Okay, if I want to access from 8th to 11th, Okay, slicing the data frame. So accessing rows. So in this way you can. So 8 to 10. So from first to 10 means you can get like this. Okay, first to 10. Okay. So if I give parameters like this, so what is happening? You can see 2, 4, 5, 6. If I give parameters like this, what is happening? So 2 to 10, I am getting values. Okay. 2 to 10 rows and 3 to 7 columns. Okay. So 2 to 10 are rows, 3 to 7 are columns. So this comma is indicating first parameter is row, second parameter is column. Okay. So in that way you can see the pandas. Okay. So in missing values, so employees data set is also different types. So I have downloaded some 50 samples only, 50 samples of employee data set. So if I am having null values, I need to do pre-processing. See, I am dropping the missing values. Okay. Okay, otherwise I am filling the missing values. Okay, so I am filling the missing values with the another columns. Okay, another column names or another names. Also you can do that way. So I think this data set is different. Okay. So next thing is drop rows, data head. Okay. Okay. So in this way you can learn about pandas. Okay, importing the data set, applying some basic functionalities of pandas. Okay, then running it. Okay, so that's it for this session. So thank you all. So thank you for this giving opportunity.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe VNR Digital Learning Resource YouTube channel.